Do you feel stuck today? Do you feel like there's a better life you could be living, that you're meant to be living? Do you feel like deep down inside you're destined for more? Maybe you know exactly what it is. Maybe you don't have a clue what it is. Today, I'm going to share with you how to build a list. You can do it starting today that will change your life. And this list has 3 elements. We're going to get into how life transformative these 3 elements can be for you and how they have been for me. I'm Jim Y'all, and I am a former evangelical pastor. I did that for 30 years, deconstructed from the faith I'd known for all of that time. But thankfully, I reconstructed to a new spirituality. I like to help people on their spiritual journey. I want to help you live the life of your dreams, and you can do it without the trappings of religion. You can do it without the trappings of the old you and the things that maybe you thought, your limiting beliefs you built up over the years. If I can help you to do that, please consider subscribing below, liking this video, leaving me a comment, maybe about what it is you want to change in your life, because I want to help you to do that. Now the list. What I want to challenge you to do is create what I like to call a life list. This is one of the most transformative things I've done in my own life. Take a piece of paper and divide it into 3 columns. On the left column at the very top, I want you to write roadblocks. Just write roadblocks. These are the things that are blocking you on the path of the journey of your life. And it's going to take some time to think about these. I'm going to share some of mine with you so you kind of get the picture. So don't worry, we're going to get into the practical of how to do this. But roadblocks on the left column. On the middle column, I want you to write simply the word reality. This is the reality. This is the truth about who I am and what I am and what's going on in my life. And we'll get to what that means. And then on the right column at the top, I just want you to write the word vision. What is my vision for my future? What is my vision for who I could be, who I should be, who I might be if everything fell into place for me? What is my real vision? And here's what I want you to do with your list. I want you to give it some thought and start over on your left column and fill all of that in first. Mine ended up being 2 big categories of roadblocks in my life. And under those categories, I listed a lot of little subcategories. What I've discovered over the last several months in my life, I've been rewiring my brain for a new me for the last over a year now, and it's changed everything for me. But the last few months, I've really dug down, and I started to see that my roadblocks come down to 2 big areas: insecurity and fear. And I don't think of myself as a fearful person. I never have. I'm a risk taker. I moved from where I lived my whole life across the country, started this church for people who don't like church years ago when I was doing the evangelical church thing. I've always been a big risk taker, so I thought, I'm fearless. And then I started to realize I really have some big fears in my life that I had not addressed and I had not wrestled with. So I began to list some of my insecurities. And mine were things like, I'm afraid people are not going to like me. Some deep things. I have this insecurity about thinking I'm not smart enough, that I'm too dumb to do a coaching business, for example, the things I'm doing online now that I never thought maybe I was smart enough to do. Sometimes I think I don't think on my feet well. How am I going to help people one-on-one? And we'll get into some of the things I discovered about myself here in a minute. But all these insecurities, I have all these fears. Fear that I'm going to let my parents down. I'm 55 years old and still worried about letting my parents down, of all things. Isn't that a crazy thing? And I have super supportive parents. We have all these fears, all these insecurities. I don't know what your roadblocks are, but list them in that left column. Give them some thought, because that's what's holding you back. In that second column, I want you to go down and fill that in next, right next to all the things that are your roadblocks. Now, for me, I went insecurity by insecurity, fear by fear, and I started to write a reality, a truth. Now, this is what took me some time. You can do your list today, but it's going to take some time to process it. It took me a while to begin to realize the truth about my situation. Here's the truth about your limiting beliefs. Whatever your roadblocks are, about 99% of them are just lies that you've either told yourself or other people have told you. And by all of my insecurities, I was able to find truths that were almost the polar opposite. One of my fears is in coaching people that I feel like I don't think quickly on my feet. And as I started thinking back over my life and writing these things down, out beside that fear, I wrote, I've been doing this for 30 years. conversations around the coffee area at the churches we were at, encouraging people on their journey, counseling sessions with people. I've been helping people for 30 years with great results. Tons of people telling me all the time, Jim, you helped me so much. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for showing me how to do this better with my life. Jim, you were one of the clearest teachers I've ever heard. You make things so simple. All these truths that I have failed to realize in my life. And I began to write those truths, those realities in that second column of what's really going on. You'll be surprised at how the polar opposite of a lot of your roadblocks, whether they're fears, insecurities, whatever they are for you, will be the truths in your life. And they'll be absolutely opposite of what you fear or think or believe about yourself, your limiting beliefs. So go down through those realities and write them down next to those fears, to those roadblocks, whatever they are for you in that first column. Now, on the third column, here's what I want you to do. Out beside all of those things you've written already, for each of those elements, write a vision of what it would look like if you were absolutely free of that fear, that insecurity, that roadblock, whatever it is in your life. What would my life look like if I did that? And that is where it started to change for me. When I started to realize what my future would be like if I would start believing I could be absolutely free of these things, it put me in a state of, or it's putting me, I should say. I'm not there yet, and I don't think I'll ever be there or you'll ever be there, but I'm getting there more and more, and I got in a state of non-resistance in those areas, and it is changing my life, y'all. I'm taking huge leaps and huge bounds now that I wasn't taking at the beginning of this journey for me, and you can too. Once again, if I can help you, please tell me in the comments, what are you struggling with? What are some of your roadblocks if you're open enough to share them? We all have them, guys. One of mine is realizing that I thought I was really screwed up and I wasn't like other people. That's a lie that your brain tells you, society tells you, maybe religion has told you. We're all the same. We have different struggles. We have different areas that we're either not good in, or we need some work in, or maybe we have addictions or whatever it is in for you, but you are not screwed up. We're all the same. We just experience life in different ways. All of us have struggles. You have to escape all that stuff. Tell me in the comments, where are you struggling today? Where could you use some help? I'd love to make some videos to help you with that. But go make you this life list today, and I promise you things are going to change for you right now.